Oh, hello, beautiful people. Welcome and welcome back. It's your girl, Dobby L. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you and your presence, okay? I have a topic to talk about, which is anger. I want to talk about anger, frustration, pissed off energy. Yeah, I want to go there because I had a lot of anger growing up and into my 20s and all that. I learned so much from it. And as an astrologer who, by the way, preaches that we have all 12 signs in our zodiac, in our birth chart, we are all made up of all 12 zodiac signs, right? Let's talk about how Aries energy has a lot of us in a chokehold. Because that's anger, frustration, raw energy that can come out. And of course, a lot of the other signs have anger and frustration. However, Aries energy is ran by Mars, the planet Mars, and that's a planet of war. Mars don't play. And I don't want to make this too long, so I'm gonna do my best. But the anger will blind us. The anger will have us really fumbling the bag, self-sabotaging. I'm speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just pointing fingers. This is like one thing about me, intuitive astrologer over here. Hey, that just talks about the zodiac signs of planets from a conversational standpoint, storytelling and all that. I was an angry child person that was also very smiley at the same damn time. Like, I had a lot of happiness in me, but when I was angry, it was felt. It was a roar. Let's just put it that way. I had a mouth. That has taught me so much, especially in my journey. Not because the anger really got me messed up, but it's actually after healing, I got to sit in peace and realize and get to the core of where my anger stems from and why, for example, I was getting pissed off at people just choosing to do the shit that they do. Like, I can't control this person, but I'm pissed because how could they? How stupid and dumb of them that they didn't do what I needed them to do. I communicated, and why would they? Because they have the right to do what they want, right? Like we as humans do. They have the right to not care about me. They have the right to not care about my feelings. They have the right to misunderstand me. You know what I mean? And there was a part of me that always felt misunderstood, always felt not cared for, always felt, in a lot of situations at least, like less than. I've went through deep, hurtful childhood trauma, which I've talked about on this channel. The parents were traumatic, family, a lot of ups and downs, like all families, I'm sure. But like, it just hit me finally, as I entered a true deep spiritual understanding of myself, my birth chart, getting so deep, nitty gritty, real with myself and understanding my needs and all that, I realized how my anger had me fumbling many bags, because it's not even about the things I fumbled. Honestly, it's about regret. And I'm not speaking for anybody. This is just me personally and talking to y'all and connecting to the Aries energy and Mars energy. And maybe someone can relate, right? Like, we will sit and be so upset, and then afterwards we'll be looked at as the bad guy. We'll be looked at as, well, Davielle, you know how she can get. She has a short fuse. And so when you make a powerful point, it gets muted, it gets bypassed because you're the one that walked away, stormed off, right? And so even when the person did something, it's overlooked. Or even when you meant to have a calm conversation, you wilded out and got physical, relatable to all of this. Truly, I have gotten physical. I have been the person to cuss a motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? I've also been the person to apologize and to see my ways. I've been the person to only point at the person and say, you're so wrong. Why are you like this? And I had to sit with myself and really dig deep. And I'm not going to go into the healing I did and blah, 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 because even the healing word has been getting an interesting rep, because healing isn't all just like, or having conversations and so hard and so this. It's like calling yourself out is healing. Like calling yourself out from a place of love, vulnerability, getting so real about, oh, I'm angry because I can't control this person. I want this person to love me and I don't feel loved right now, so they're pissing me the F off. Or somebody that doesn't even owe me that energy, but because they're being themselves, which may be a little grumpy, a little moody, a little this, a little that, cause me to go the F off. And I'm being dramatic for a reason, because it's the truth. I don't care how sweet you think you are. I'm sure you've had an outburst, whether it be a stranger because you don't want your family to see that side of you, or your family gets it because you don't want a stranger. Fine, your animal gets it because that's where you lash out the most, or you go online and secretly cussing people out but acting like you're not that person. You get what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, and if this doesn't resonate, don't resonate. But I know what I know. Anyway, but we all have Aries in our chart, so it shows up somewhere in your life. If in your subconscious mind you're cussing people out and talking your shit, so that's enough, and you journal talking your shit, but then in person you don't let people see that, fine, but it still resonates. It's taught me that it just blinds people from the truth and gives others an excuse to see how wrong you are, how inappropriate or ridiculous, why did you storm off? The focus goes on the anger. But when there's a level of peace, there's a level of acceptance. There's a level of speaking your truth. But if the person doesn't want to hear you, that's a message in itself. You can't force or convince or coerce someone to hear you, see you, want you. You know what I mean? Especially relationships. Oh my goodness. The men, the long text, long paragraph. Whoo, been there, done that. Jeez, block, unblock, block, unblock. Oh my gosh. Truly, I'm embarrassed. You know what I mean? And really not embarrassed. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things I did that was just out of like, love me. Don't be like that. Truly. And I'm talking about myself. And so Aries energy, Mars energy, wherever you have that in your chart, even first house energy, all three of those in your birth chart, telling a story about passion and frustration and warlike energy, because we all have it in us, and it's something to highlight. Why are you so angry? Well, because okay, fine, valid. Put your hand over your heart. What do you need right now from this person, and why does your anger take charge and not your truth? Well, because they don't get it and they don't care. Okay, fine, they don't. So take a moment to X them out for just a quick second and care about you. Why are you angry? Oh, well, I'm angry because, every time I talk to this person, they twist my words. Okay. What does your words getting twisted trigger in you? Well, triggers when I was a kid. I would always have people boom, bam. You can get there. It's all about just being so real with yourself, so honest with you. Aries is not just about the anger. It's about getting passionate, getting excited, getting riled up. And sometimes we won't know our passion because it's hiding under layers of frustration, under layers of this is how life is supposed to be. You have no control over life. Or if you've tried to take control and may have worked for a while, you always will lose control. Like, that's just the cycle of life. That's karma, that what goes up must come down. The rich, poor, rich. Come on. You know the cycle, hopefully. And if you don't, welcome. That's just life. Already what the planets do on this earth is rotate through all the signs and the houses, so we all are going through ebbs and flows, experiencing what other people experience. Your level 10 is different from someone else's level 10. There's a story being told, and we might get caught up in our anger, and our anger can blind us from the truth, from the lesson. There's a lesson that a lot of us are learning consistently, and we'll bypass the lesson because the anger. We sit in the frustration and not in the, what is the solution to get back to you? What is the solution, especially when you see yourself in a constant cycle of whatever the heck it may be. Maybe you're somebody that feels like people always are two-faced with you. It's like, okay, do you mirror that energy? What's happening? No, that's not me. Okay, no problem. What boundaries do you need to have when you sense a two-face? Are you confronting the person from a place of calm so that they can't use your anger as an excuse, but they can use your level-headed energy, or if they're giving you one-word answers, how can you take your phone away, scream in your pillow, and just take a moment to be like, oh, they don't value my time. I just wrote this long thing and you have nothing to say. Okay, I need to take a step back and not, what was the word, crash out. There's so much that we can learn from our birth chart, can learn from Aries energy, Mars, first house. All three of them grouped together truly can tell a story of aggression. Never mind the others, like I said, of course. But the true area that it stems and shows up so clearly, everywhere else you could hide it a little bit. But Aries energy doesn't play. A lot of times the things that drive us are the things that frustrate us. And it's just like, I need to make a change. I'm not gonna be broke no more. I have to, you know what I mean? It's like, that's good, that's positive. And then there's just straight up anger that hits so deeply. And when you don't figure it out, you find yourself lashing out about the most random things, talking trash, being so negative towards people. And that's something I had to really face and understand about myself and realize that's not the way to do it. And there's been so many times I've been invalidated and looked like the problem, looked like the person that doesn't take advice. Things could have gone way better if I was just calm. If I was just level-headed and not so fiery and quick and, letting fear or letting frustration or letting lack of love run how I move, and instead move from a place of alignment and love. And when I don't have clarity, to pray on it, to meditate on it, to see what I can do, just make things better, to make things better for myself, and to not take control over the situation, and just be mindful of how that anger can make you go outside of yourself and have you regret. I ain't saying regret. Maybe you claim you don't regret, but hey, look, I know for me, I replayed things over and over and was like, oh, I could have done that better. I could have handled that better, And a lot of people say, I never have regrets. You replaying that thing though. You know what I mean? Hey, look, I get it. You're replaying it over and over in your head. Get a hold of your anger. You can really destroy relationships. You can really, like I said, I'm speaking from experience. You can just leave a sour taste. And I get that. That's the purpose, right? People are like, yeah, duh, I want to. And there's a way to set boundaries and also stay in as high of a vibe as possible. And that's something that was really hard for me. But I just want to at least voice this to say, wherever that is in your chart, get to know what's happening and why. Like even Aries, it's like body. I had such frustration with my body for years. And it was just like, oh, like why won't it just... And the more I was frustrated, the more I became more unhappy, until finally I accepted my body and gave my body more love and calmed down about it, but got clear about what affected me so deeply. And I felt my guard go down with my own body because I got so real and so raw and so honest. It's happening for a reason. It's trying to show you something. Even me in a past relationship, I went outside of myself and my goodness, it was so toxic. And it's telling me something. I'm not happy here. There is a level of discontent that is turning toxic, really toxic. With a parent, with a sibling, it's like, whoa, where do you draw the line? Where does your boundaries come up? And it's less anger. Even with me and my, the second oldest sister. So I'm the oldest and the second oldest out of 4. The second oldest, my sister Brianna, we had to go through some things, some really tough situations. And she pissed me off. And we would have blowouts, we'd argue, we this, we that. And then one day she did something to me and I had to figure out whether, because she kept lying about it. And finally I caught her and I was so calm and I was just like, I'm done. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I can't do this because I vocalized what I need from you. We've fought, we've this, we've that. You don't respect it. You have the right, but I'm done. And we didn't talk for months. And it was a no big deal for her. What's the big deal? I had to do that for me, but I understand that if I was blowing up and roar, it could have went differently because it always went differently in the past. But that time I had to just choose me and be like, oh, I can't win. I gotta step back. There's a message in this. And I'd be a fool to ignore it or to get riled up. And it's like, I get it. Sometimes you can't control it, right? But when you get to a point where you want to hold yourself accountable, and that was around the time I wasn't necessarily healing, but I understood when you repeat something with your own sister, something's got to give. And so now it's just, I can't do this. Like, there was a lack of accountability, a lack of this. I was just like, no. And so God brought us back together. We ended up bumping into each other at church. And it was a church we barely go to, but we went at the same time and they had mad different times and all that. And we sat I think I sat right in front of her or behind her. And we just were like, oh, hey, and that's how we reconnected. And God kind of made it happen. And from there, we got to talk, and finally she was willing to open up. It's just this thing where I was angry. And I finally had to just be like, I choose me. I can't do this, And there's been other situations I wish I handled it that way, but I didn't. And it ended really angry and it ended dramatic and blow up. And I didn't listen to myself. Like, your anger is telling you something. And that's something I had to learn in this lifetime for real. It's like I was so emotional and emotionally charged and so sensitive that my anger was just like, I can't get hurt anymore. I'm trying to block the hurt. But it's like it attracting more hurt because all I think about is hurt and how this person's going to hurt me kind of, at one point in my life. And there were times I was so open and free and willing. And so I got pissed when I like let someone in and they hurt me. Like, what the heck? I actually trusted. And so there was up and down with it. It wasn't until finally, truly 2020, I started to be like, oh, I need me time. I need to get back to me. And I need to recalibrate, because there's been a lot of cycles repeating with people and how people treat me and how this and that. And I need a second, and I still didn't handle things perfectly and all of that and blah, blah, blah. But I was learning along the way. I was honest with myself, like, oh, I really do get angry and pissed. And so I had to learn to just breathe. Even in the hardest time of like truly hotel to hotel, living life so wildly, I had to learn to find peace because my anger wasn't solving anything. Constantly in this circle of struggle, right? If you know my story, circle of struggle, and my anger, it was just, God was like, okay, be big mad anyway, get level-headed and get yourself out of this. You get what I'm saying? You and your sister work on, let's go. And so I relate to you if this is something you relate to, and I hope that you at least can sit with yourself and rethink the time where you're going to text in your notes first and just like breathe and take a moment. And maybe it takes practice. Maybe it'll take you a little bit, fine. But acknowledging it and then doing it again and again and acknowledging it and doing it, it's like, it's the back and forth, it's the in between. And so just be mindful. It took me a long time to get out of it, but I also didn't have the knowledge that I have now as a spiritual being, as someone that has really tapped in and done a lot of really difficult work. And there's more work to do, I'm sure. But, it's been a journey. And so I wanted to at least share this and say, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. And there's a way to the other side. It's just a matter of, do you want to? Because some people also thrive off the anger. There was a point where I did want to shake things up. I mean, I came from a pretty toxic household, grew up, toxicity, family, there's no real peace, peace maybe for a little, and then it gets shaken up. Someone's saying something, doing something, it may not have been the most dramatic situation, but my level 10 and someone else's level 10 could be different, right? Maybe someone is dealing with gun violence and all this, but me, it's like, you're screaming at me and that shakes me, or I'm going through sexual abuse, whatever the case may be. Your level 10 can affect you, and being so honest about the effect and actually working to dial back in the moment. Just tell yourself it is not worth it. I need a moment, and being able to vocalize that is so important, but it's challenging to bring this up because I know it's easier said than done, especially as someone that relates. So if this is just a relatability video, then that's okay too, but where your Aries, Mars, and first house is will tell you a lot about the areas of life that piss you the hell off, and how to overcome. Obviously, as an astrologer, it's you can get advice for that in different ways online, astrologer, but yeah, just be mindful of the way that you choose to let out your anger. You don't have all the answers, and I had to learn that I don't have all the answers, and so I have to be open while still standing on business and taking no shit. You know what I mean? You're still not gonna get one up on me, but I don't have to explode to make a point to you. For what? Some people want that. Some people need you to explode to make sure, oh, they still care. Oh, okay, I still got you. Oh, okay, you still love me. And it's just like, oh, that's a little toxic. And being able to articulate that. And if you're the person that wants to rile someone up, be mindful of the decisions you're making, because karma also don't play either. You know what I mean? You want to shake shit up. Now, the areas where you do have peace, that's going to get shaken and you don't see it coming. You know what I mean? I would see that too. I'd poke here, and in another area of my life, I'm like, whoa, that really went left. It's just not worth it. And yes, it's giving peace, zen, meditate, and it's just choose you. Choose to believe that you're important, that your peace matters, and that people are going to, as you've heard before, show you who they are. Believe them. It's up to you how you go about it. You have to apply this as you see fit, but I see you and I understand, and it ain't easy, but if you're willing to overcome it, it will really help you to at least make points and to not be dismissed by people. You may not even know you're being dismissed, but people may agree with you, yeah, and they be like, you know, so and so, they always mad, they always big mad, they always trying to fight somebody, they always trying to argue, you know, and I don't want that for you. That's not fair for you, unless you want that for you, and that's different. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just had to share that. Do with this information as you please. Okay. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm a little hungry. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to eat. But yes, like, comment, share, subscribe. Support your girl. If not, that's okay. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your time, your effort. Thank you. And I'll see you on the next one.